just out of pure love to nature, I studied landscape architecture, and I always thought, man, it would be so cool if I could ever build like a golf course. That would be really cool. Never thought that's actually what's going to happen. But yeah, I've been just really lucky and worked my ass off to be where I'm now. My name is Angela Moser. I'm a golf course architect and shaper. I grew up in Germany. It's a little town in Bavaria called Augsburg, which is also the hometown of Bernhard Langer. When I grew up, there were just a handful of girls playing golf. My brother and I got the golf bug, and for him it was competitive. For me it was like, heck yeah, traveling and seeing different golf courses. The golf courses in Germany are architecturally not super interesting. We have about 5 golf courses that are built in the golden age of golf course architecture. Colt sent his associate Morrison over to Germany, so that combination created a couple pretty good golf courses. But I remember, I've never thought about golf course architecture before, really. But there was a par 3 over water to a really tough pin. And I remember there was just like a kicker slope. And you know, we're so direct in Germany. We always go directly to the pin. Like, we're not really, you know, thinking about different ways. But I was like, wow, this is really cool. You know, I wonder if someone thought about this, and like, what's that guy's job? Like, that's really cool. That is golf course architecture. You give them a different way to still play the hole instead of just going straight for the pin. And, you know, driving back home, you know, I was still thinking about why is that there? And what is that? And, you know, I couldn't explain it. So, sure, lately, it also depends who your crew or who's on your crew. They might have like a way that they like to finish a bunker, but you know, all good as long as it's not perfectly pitched down like a ramp. I'm actually pretty happy with having the crew just be creative and have a go. You want to try? It's a really nice shovel. So what we're doing is
Is it a nice shovel?
Yeah, it is. It is. It really is. So you do is that, and then you whack the shit out of it. So yeah, just trying to get in and out and
then have it smooth.
You know. It's like you're baking a cake. You put the glaze on it.
It's just a giant cake.
So you have to take it so
80 holes. I study landscape architecture. At my university, you had to do a semester on a construction site and half a year in the office. And the half year in the office I did at a landscape and golf course architect office in Austria. We had a project in China and no one was on site ever. There was no connection there. You wouldn't understand the land and the lay of the land. My first day, I apparently Googled the right thing. It was like the best golf courses in the world, and Mackenzie was already dead. Bummer. Ross dead. Damn. Then Corn Crenshaw, Tom Doak. And he also had this internship program on his website, and I was like sending an email straight away. And they answered, which was amazing. I got the internship in 2011. I had to learn everything. I think I was cheap labor, but I think that helped really because I was eager to learn and I didn't mind putting in hours. I was one of the very few people that are actually really happy to build tee boxes. I love, how to integrate them into the nature and make them disappear, and you don't really recognize them as a tea. First job, actually, the internship at the Renaissance Club, I built, so it's the par 4 alongside the waterfront where you see the lighthouse. I built the back tee box just with a sand pro, so they stripped away the marim and the native, and I just leveled it off. And you know, the tie-in into the nature I thought was really great. So that was probably my first, yeah, nailed it.
What's been different about being on a project versus managing a project?
Oh, it's completely different. It's so different, and I had no idea, and I've salutes and kudos to all the senior design associates I've been working with. It's very, very different, and I highly, highly respect them even more now. As a shaper, you jump into your machine happy, and you're shaping something cool, and you know, you go to lunch, come back, shape a little bit more, and then, you know, time for dinner. As a lead, you have to, you know, organize everything around it. You have a contractor and the superintendent, and then you have an area that is actually getting cleared, and then you have an area where it's actually starting to shape, and then you have an area where they're actually putting grass down. So, you know, there's a lot going on, and I was on the move all the time, so it's very different.
So it takes a lot of people, a lot of time to build it and get it right. And, you know, on this project, Angela's gotten to be out front. She was running the job for the first time, and she will tell you, unfortunately, that meant she didn't get to do as much of the creative stuff as she would have liked, because she had a whole bunch of other responsibilities. And, you know, I tried to warn her in the beginning, yeah, it's a real learning experience, and it will drive you crazy because you'd rather just be building all the greens. But at some point, you've got to step back and, you know, accept help from other people. And she's been working with us long enough that all of my crew came in and helped and built a couple greens and chipped in. So
Do you have a dream project?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm not sure if I should say that. I love restorations, and there's one that is in the back of my mind and my heart, and Marion Hollins is my absolute hero. So is Alice Dye, but Marion Hollins worked alongside Alistair Mackenzie and with Rayner, and she only has one original built as an architect, and that was the Women's National Golf and Tennis Club on Long Island. Unfortunately, that was lost over the years, and they lengthened it, so they bought property, so it's not like you lost something. You actually have more property than you originally had, so you could still put it back, because I know that there's still a lot of the original greens are still in the ground, and I would love to restore that to, you know, honor her, and that would be one of my dream jobs. First of all, I just really enjoy being outside. When you go to Nebraska and you have this long drive through the sandhills of Nebraska, so you see like all these blowouts and just different textures in the dunes, and you know, there's so much to learn from that, just what nature does. If you go to the Irish coastline, you know, it's a different type of wind and weather, and it's just hitting it really hard, and it's kind of different dune system, and all that kind of details are just fascinating to me. And you know, if you put that all into your aspects of how you build a feature on a golf course, there's a lot to learn from nature. At Tiari, I built the Eden Hole on Tiari North, and you know how it drops off really sharp in the back normally in the creek, and we didn't have a creek there, so I built like a really steep bank, but then the wind was just undercutting it even more, and we got like this really cool half pipe splashed up feature, and they just hydroseeded it, and it looks absolutely perfect. Not sure about maintainability, but they figure it out. I think every time if I'll go and work in a country that is golf fanatic and really celebrates golf and wants to play golf, that's so different to where I'm from. Me and where I really enjoy working is really where golf is celebrated, and you know, you can go to a pub and have a pint and talk about your golf round, and you just not stop talking about golf. I quite like that.